A breezy fall afternoon in the Shenandoah Valley will provide the setting for a ranked regional matchup between the Marlins of Virginia Wesleyan University and the Eagles of Bridgewater College, who will host this Old Dominion Athletic Conference showdown. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Bridgewater Soccer Complex. I'm Tate Mills, and today we have a late October men's soccer game, which means that ODAC tournament seeding is a topic of conversation. We will get into that later. But first, we're going to have to see which squad will be able to position themselves for a positive end-of-season stretch. But first, let's take a quick look at the weather and the history books. Virginia Wesleyan leads the all-time series 29-4-3. It's currently 60 degrees out there. Feels like 52. That's large in part due to the 16-mile-per-hour winds and the 27-mile-per-hour gusts. Pretty windy out there, and it will continue that way for the rest of the match. We're going to get started here shortly. We'll be right back. Looks like we're about to get started here. Go through starters in numerical order. First, Sting Eagles in goal, Zane Kowalski, Anthony Eugenio, Paul Dunbar, Riley Queen, Anthony Madrano, Ethan Locklear, Noah Deno, David Bynum, Layden Mongold, Trey Widrick, and Eric Lobo. And for the Marlins in numerical order, Ryan McAdams, Tyler Waddle, Aaron Deans, Joss Nevins, Giovanni Zizza, Zach Bittler, Miguel Mijanio, Tyler Hyatt, Mason Wakefield, and in goal is Ben Haynes. We're about to get started here. Bridgewater will receive the ball first. Waiting for Virginia Wesleyan to break their huddle. And then we will be underway just in a few moments here. Looks like they're about ready to get started. Bridgewater enters today with a record of 10-2-2. Very solid. Virginia Wesleyan not too far behind them at 9-4-1. Looking to get started here at Bridgewater Soccer Complex. And we're underway. Bridgewater in white, Virginia Wesleyan in navy. Bridgewater moving upfield first. That ball will be deflected back away. Moving back on offense now is Bridgewater and poked away again in ODAC play. Where it stands, Bridgewater is undefeated in ODAC play, 5-0-1 tie. Virginia Wesleyan, on the other hand, is 3-3. Now moving back upfield are the Eagles. And poked away. They're going to say goal kick. That was awfully close, but they're going to give possession to the Marlins. Virginia Wesleyan will look to launch upfield, and that's instantly deflected and headed way up in the air now. Will fall back down, headed, trying to move around, and that one will go out of bounds. Bridgewater enters today undefeated in ODAC play and tied with Washington and Lee at the top of the ODAC standings. Both squads are 5-0-1. They meet in a week from today. Virginia Wesleyan finds himself slotted in 5th. No team able to get any real footing yet. As Virginia Wesleyan will launch downfield, and that ball will go out of bounds. talk about Bridgewater's unblemished ODAC record. They haven't lost in 6 games, and they've all been in ODAC play. So they're riding a 6-game unbeaten streak, with their last loss coming away about a month ago at Mary Washington. They lost that game 3-0. The ball is now launched up in the air and back out of bounds. That will be a goal kick. Again, so still no one able to get any real footing in this one. These two teams play different styles of soccer. Bridgewater will look to score and keep applying the pressure. Virginia Wesleyan is perfectly fine sitting back and playing good quality defense and winning that way. Wesleyan averages just 1.5 goals a game compared to Bridgewater's 2.3, so that's something to look forward to as well. And then on the other hand of that, Wesleyan only lets up less than a goal a game. 0.8 is the average, while Bridgewater lets up 1.3 goals a game. So we're going to have to look at that, how these two squads will play against each other, playing two different styles of soccer. Virginia Wesleyan moving up the field now. And this run is temporarily stalled, now retreating backwards. And out of bounds, so good defense at the midfield for Bridgewater. Back on offense now are the Eagles. And they will still have possession after the ball is redirected on out of bounds. And hard again out of bounds. Another throw in now. Good throw downfield. Bounced around a couple of times. No one able to claim possession yet. Stuff being fought for. And a whistle. Foul on that play. I believe that will be Tyler Hyatt called for the foul on that one. Throw in now. Ball was launched in the direction of the goal and out of bounds immediately. Corner kick now coming for the Eagles. They have more corners than their opponents on the season. Virginia Wesleyan has an equal amount of corners as their opponents on the season, now down 1 on the season after this ball was inserted. And it is inserted now, kind of low. First touched by a Marlin. Redirected pretty far out. Bynum's chasing it, and he will collect it. Knocked out of bounds and favored towards Bridgewater. Ball's now back up in the air. Some momentum building now for the Marlins. They had the ball in open space. Bridgewater covered it well. Now they're going to have to reassess. Now moving back. Or the Marlins, and again, no one's been able to really establish themselves. Bridgewater's been on the offensive end more so than Virginia Wesleyan, who I don't think's been on it at all. But the Marlins defense is holding well, just like they've done all year. Had Queen running, but was efficiently covered. Talk about the Marlins defense. They've been playing pretty well. They shut out number 5, Christopher Newport, at the time. They won that game 2-0. So they are definitely capable of hanging with the top teams in the nation, and Bridgewater is certainly playing as well as anybody right now. See how the Virginia Wesleyan defense can hold up against this one. It's now time to see about the Bridgewater defense for the first time today as the ball's moving closer towards the goal. And Kowalski will scoop it up. Kowalski is coming off of ODAC Defensive Player of the Week honors. And he will direct some traffic and try to facilitate his squad to get in position for this incoming goal kick. And he launches it way up in the air. First headed by a Marlin, and immediately will go out of bounds. Their shutout against CNU was their last shutout. Oddly enough, that game was October 1st, so Bridgewater certainly, that's going to be a very high shot by Riley Queen, who is coming off ODAC Offensive Player of the Week. So Bridgewater swept those honors coming into today's week and game. They are certainly playing well. As now Zizzo's going to have it, and he will pass it on up to McAdams. McAdams crossing, and Bridgewater will knock it out of there. Wakefield is there to clean it up. And we're going to get a whistle. Ball is back in play. Wakefield with it now. He will launch it up. Off target, maybe just a little bit. Bounce around a couple of times, and Kowalski will come out and put two hands on the ball, and he will look to launch the ball downfield once he gives his squad enough time to get in position. So Bridgewater had a chance to early, put up a shot, went high, and now Virginia Wesleyan is on the offensive. See if that's how it will play out, or if going forward, or if one team can establish some footing on one side of the field. Ball's back in play now. This is Bynum with it. Coming into today, Wesleyan has won 2 in a row, most recently a matchup against Shenandoah. 2-1. Before that, Eastern Mennonite. Bridgewater, on the other hand, beat Randolph-Macon over the weekend, which very good win. Struggling Macon squad this year, but Bridgewater able to pick up a 2-1 win. Nonetheless, Bridgewater also beat Shenandoah the week before that. Their only non-win in ODAC play was a 2-2 tie against Averett on October 11th. This is Virginia Wesleyan's last road game of the season. Their final 2 games are both at home. And those are going to be 2 winnable games. So if they can get this one and win the next 2, they could certainly be in contention for hosting a ODAC playoff game, but they're going to have to get past this one first. So they're working on offense now. They've had a couple of chances. The ball is launched upfield. Decent positioning. That's going to be high and poked out of bounds. Heading into today, Bridgewater had played a fairly, as they're now settling back in on defense. Crossing, and Kowalski's going to have it again. So Bridgewater facing more pressure defensively than they have in the first 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes have been pretty much controlled by the Marlins. Bridgewater is going to look to get back offensively. They did have that shot by Queen that went high, but other than that, they had mainly just done a good job of keeping the ball down there on the offensive side. Eugenio's working with it now. Now will launch downfield. That's Widrick with it. With his left foot will pass it off, and Eugenio is taken to the ground. No whistle. They play on. Bridgewater still in possession. And out of bounds. Anyway, as I was saying before this game, Bridgewater has done a very good job of beating opponents that they're supposed to be beating. Going into today, however, their schedule gets significantly harder. All regionally ranked opponents and 2 nationally ranked opponents stand in their way. Wesleyan today, Hampton-Sydney. Over the weekend, ball was launched up in the air and knocked back out of there. And then Washington and Lee a week from today. Touch pass up, and that will be collected by Haynes, who will keep the ball on the ground. And Virginia Wesleyan will look to push early without the Bridgewater defense being set. They're now going to look to slow it down. Good heads-up running by the Eagles. Zizzo with it. Zizzo will pass it off. And now back behind him. Bridgewater will redirect it a couple of times and take back control. That's Queen with it. Touch pass again. Off. Madrano will dance around a defender and he will pass it up. Settling things back down. Bynum will cross, launch back up in the air. Madrano with it, passes it off. Eugenio works around a defender, trying to work around a couple more. He will look, and that shot is wide, tight window. Couldn't get anything to go. Some more offensive pressure being applied by the Eagles after holding off the Marlins for the past couple minutes. Goal kick now incoming for the Marlins. They decide to keep this one short. Now they will launch downfield. And that pass is off target, off of the head of an Eagle. Madrano with it now. Passes it off behind him. Ball launched downfield, offensive end. Off target and out of bounds. Ball's back in play now. Bridgewater in possession of the ball. Queen will pass the ball up, and the goalie will make a touch, and that ball will go out of bounds. Bridgewater will stay in possession. Ball is in play, back up in the air. Redirected, and good play by Queen to keep that one alive. Bridgewater still in control. That's going to be a shot, and that's going to be in! How about that? Anthony Eugenio gets it to go early, kind of caught the defense off guard a little bit. Shot from deep. I don't think anyone was really on the defense expecting him to shoot that. And 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes into this one, Bridgewater is going to have a 1-0 lead from the efforts of Anthony Eugenio. How about that?
Eagles scored by number 3, Anthony Eugenio.
So Bridgewater up 1-0 early in this one. And that's uncharacteristic for this Virginia Wesleyan defense. Ben Hayes might have been sleeping a little bit back there. Definitely had some players in its way, and it's tough to see down there, but Eugenio shot that one, and it snuck right past Haynes. Kowalski will look to launch downfield now. Bridgewater will have possession now. Queen tripped over the ball and will give it right back to the Marlins as a player was then tripped. Important to note for Wesleyan is Jamari Willis is ineligible for today's contest. He's a great player and has been great all year for the Marlins, but ineligible for today's contest and their next one. Something to certainly keep an eye on. Has 9 points on the year, 4 goals. Second leading goal scorer is Willis, and they will have to do without him today and over the weekend. Ball launched up in the air. Bynum's tracking off of his head, launches it in a good direction. Ball's now back in the opposite direction. Offensive for the Eagles. And after a redirect, the ball will be in favor of, I believe, Bridgewater. Correction, they're going to give the ball to Virginia Wesleyan. Throw in. And out of bounds off Bridgewater, so moving the ball upfield a little bit. Ball thrown in once again. And out of bounds. That one's going to be given to Bridgewater and out of bounds again. All right, back in play now, looking the direction of Kowalski. He will drive a low ball upfield. No one able to really come away with it yet. So we got a whistle out there in a stoppage. Foul committed by the Marlins, giving the ball to the Eagles. Ball is up, launched in the air, and will land out of bounds. Neither team able to get much going the last couple minutes, or really since Eugenio's unexpected goal. Ball out of bounds again. Thrown in by the Marlins. Wakefield with it. Knocked back by that Eagles back line, which has been so solid. And a major factor in their undefeated streak. See how they hold up today, playing up a goal early. Certainly could not have started better for the Eagles, scoring in the first 15 minutes of the game. Still no one really able to get anything going. Ball's been redirected a couple of times. Is hanging on the offensive side of the Marlins. This is Tappan with it now. Caden Tappan. So he will pass it off. Wesleyan looking to get something going, settling into an offensive formation. Puts a shot up, or a cross rather. Knocked up again. Not great positioning for the Eagles. Bat off the head of a Marlin, still being fought for. Queens there in pursuit, still pursuing. And now going back, Wittricks there, applying some defensive pressure. Still is. Good job by the Eagles there to break up that push. Marlins still in control now, behind the defender. Crossing, ball's there, but the Marlins were not, still a chance. Cross now, kicked up. No one able to come away with it yet. Now the Eagles will look to clear, and they will clear. Good defense there by the Eagles, and the ball will go out of bounds, and the Marlins will reset their offense. Marlins moving offensively now, closer to the goal where they were before Bridgewater's clear. Good move there. Now crossing, ball's in front of the goal. And no one's able to come away with it. And a goal kick upcoming for the Eagles. Definitely facing some pressure, and that's what we've kind of seen. Bridgewater started off applying the pressure on offense for a few minutes. But that switched off to the Marlins, primarily on offense, followed by a mix of where no team was able to get anything going. Then it was Bridgewater's turn again, and they were able to score. And now Wesleyan, clear offensive pressure for the past few minutes, just turned it over though. Stoppage down there, injury timeout. All right, ball's back in play. Virginia will launch hard downfield. Good positioning. Oh, and good defense hit. Took a hard hit, though, and we're going to take another injury timeout. Don't know who that is. Everyone gets up on their own power. And we're going to get back started. Wesleyan with the ball, looking to get this ball cleared. And back on offense, they are trailing by 1 early. And hard out of bounds, so they won't be able to successfully clear. Bynum will throw it in, off target a little bit. Bridgewater still working on offense. Good play there. Ball out of bounds. Bridgewater throw in now. This will be Cole Dunbar. Solid throw. First touch by Marlin. Bridgewater working back. That's Bynum. He will pass it off. Launching downfield to Queen in his direction. Headed off and out of bounds by Marlin. Bridgewater will keep possession. Throw in now. Bridgewater still working on offense. Quick pass off. Cross in front of the goal. No one's there for Bridgewater. Queen's in pursuit of it now. He might just let it go out of bounds. And he will. Eugenio stepping out of the game just temporarily. Play is not resumed. Getting checked out. Now he will run back on. So no subs for Bridgewater after all of that. They will look to get back resumed. Dunbar will throw it in. See if his throw can set up a potential goal. Ball is thrown up. Decent throw. Knocked back out. Bynum knocks it up in the air. Headed by Marlin. Touched by Eugenio. Eugenio will touch it up to Queen. Good idea. But, oh. Ryan McAdams fouled Eugenio. No cards issued, and play will resume on. Ball's launched up in play. Good shot. Oh, and saved by Haynes. Ball was collected. Not sure if that pass was too far out or if that was an intended shot. Nonetheless, score remains 1-0. Now launching upfield are the Marlins. Good defense by Bridgewater, clearing, and that ball was immediately out of bounds. Marlins will keep offensive possession. Ball will be thrown up, knocked around. No one able to claim it yet. Bridgewater now has a foot on it. Passes it around a couple of times, facing serious pressure. Now they will look to get it out of there. There's a Marlin there. That was Josh Nevins. Nevins knocked it up. Now moving back offensively are the Marlins. Good defense there by the Eagles to knock that out of there for the time being. But the Marlins are right back in offensively. Pass up, shot up, and saved by Kowalski. Score will remain 1-0. Virginia Wesleyan definitely shifting towards more offensive pressure, and understandably so. They are down 1 goal after an early goal by Anthony Eugenio. Back on offense now are the Marlins, moving up field, getting their players set. Oh, hard off, good block. And the Eagles will work to get a clear attempt and turn this into offense. Dunbar with it, and he will pass up. Wittrick was there, too far out in front of it. And now the Marlins will look to clear and get back on offense. They've been close a couple of times, got a shot up. Kowalski saved it. They are certainly close in playing better offense than they were at the start of the game. Moving offensively now are the Marlins. Good block to get that cross out of there. Now moving upfield, being pursued. Pass off to Woodrick. Thought he was going to give it back off to Dunbar. Decided against it and then launches way upfield. No one's there, and the ball will go out of bounds. Ball's back in play. Marlins looking to get a clear, turning that into offense. Marlins working, not able to get a clear ball yet. Now they will be able to as they look to settle in offensively. Working around a defender, missed the ball, and that kind of ruined that offensive push. Went to step over the ball and just kind of disrupted his step. And Bridgewater will be awarded the ball after the turnover. Ball's thrown in now. Bridgewater working to get a clear, looking promising so far. Oh, good play on the ball by Aaron Deans. Working back offensively now are the Marlins. Drawing a couple of defenders. See if they can get this ball crossed. Retreating backwards now are the Marlins. Passes it off. That's Nevins back there on the pushing back line. That's going to be a cross, redirected, and in. They're going to draw back even. That's Zach Bittler with it, drawing back even 1-1. And you could definitely tell they were teetering on getting a score there. They had been close a couple of times. That one got past Zawalski. And Zach Bittler, talk about him. He has been a great player. That was his 7th goal on the year. He was their goal leader coming in. And he stretches that lead to 7. He also leads in assists with 3 and leads in points and shots as well. So the offense definitely runs through him. And with the absence of Jamari Willis, he certainly knew he was going to have to take a step up today, and he certainly has, asserting himself early in this one. And now Virginia Wesleyan is right back in it and can potentially resume to their preferred style of play, but their offense has been certainly working, at least in the past 10 minutes or so. So maybe why not keep that up? We will see what they decide to do under 17 minutes remaining in the opening half. Bridgewater has certainly been allowing some goals this season. In their stretch of undefeated ODAC play, it only includes one shutout. So they've been outscoring opponents while letting up goals too, which is all the most impressive on their offense. There certainly hasn't been poor defensive efforts by any means. Their last two wins against Macon and Shenandoah, they only gave up one goal. Their tie, they gave up 2, and then Roanoke, they gave up 0. See how many they end up giving today. Will this be the only one? Or will Virginia Wesleyan look to get another one? We'll see. Bynum pressuring now. Let's see what the Marlins decide to do. They're certainly going to be pressuring on offense. As no one's able to really work away with it now. Dunbar has it. He will cross the midfield line. Queen is running. He will pass it off to him in pursuit of his own touch pass. And good play by Haynes to collect it, get it out of danger. Ball being passed back around. Looking to get a clear. Under 15 minutes remaining in the opening half. 1-1 is the score. Anthony Eugenio and Zach Bittler have both gotten on the scoreboard. Dunbar moving in now. And out of bounds. Throw in now coming for the Eagles as they look to get back and applying that offensive pressure that led to their opening goal. They started the game out on offense, lost control, got it back and scored, but ever since their goal, they have not been able to hold much offensive pressure to the Marlins defense. Still working the ball around, and now will be out of bounds. Wesleyan will look to get the ball cleared. Downfield shot, off target. Marlins will get a second chance at that one, though. Now moving upfield. Oh, good move on the ball to keep that one out of trouble. And now Bridgewater will work back in on defense. That's Ryan McAdams fighting for the ball against Widrick. And he will be called for the foul. Is McAdams. Bridgewater will look to get this ball cleared, and they need to get back settled in offensively. Defenses look better since they gave up their last goal. They would certainly like a little break on defense. Not much sustained offensive possessions recently for the Eagles, and there's another one gone. Bridgewater will have to settle back in on defense. Pass will be deflected by Bynum, but recollected by Grady Lawrence, and he will pass it back off. Oh, good positioning there by Jaden Buckles. Worked that ball back for the Eagles. Eugenio working with it now. Will pass off, potentially in some trouble. Now launching upfield. Now controlled again by Bridgewater. Oh, good move. And they will look to settle things down a little bit. Dunbar being held, maybe he thought. Officials will withhold their whistle. And this ball will be back in play. Marlins in control of it, looking to get the ball past midfield and back working offensively. controlling the offensive end of the field in the past 25 minutes or so. Marlins working, crossing midfield, now passing to the far side of the field. Working up, passing off to Cohen Napier. Napier will pass it off. That's an Evans with it coming up, and he will pass it off as well. So some good ball movement being displayed by the Marlins. Tappan with it now. We'll have it deflected, and he went in for the slide tackle. Very effective on Eugenio. Tore up the field a little bit. Good move there. Bynum's there to launch it way up in the air. And the ball will go out of bounds. 10 minutes remaining in the opening half. 1-1 is the score. Bridgewater scored in the 14th minute. Wesleyan scored about 15 minutes after that. 1-1 is how we got there. See how the final 10 minutes will play out. It's Mongold with it now, and he will keep the ball low. Will launch upfield. Upfield again. Marlins working with it now. Pushing up offensively. And then passing back off, now retreating. Good defense being applied by the Eagles. Now the Marlins will look upfield once again. And now back behind midfield. Good defense by Bridgewater, but they need to get the ball back offensively. They seem to have great success. They got some shots up early when they were in control. Now they're back on defense and have let up a goal since. Defensive possessions haven't been horrible, but they did let a goal slip past. Now they're going to have to treat back in goal as that cross was way high. Kowalski goal kick. He will launch upfield. Makes it about halfway down. First touch by Marlin. Headed a couple of times. And on the far side of the field. He gets an early touch, but the Marlins will win the possession right back. They retreated back a little bit past their midfield line. They'll now pass back up. Desmigiano with it. Shot with his left foot. Decent positioning, but better concentration by Kowalski. Saves that one. 1-1. The score remains. Under 7.5 minutes remaining in the opening half now. Bridgewater will look to settle in offensively. They haven't had a good quality offensive possession in some time. And that time will continue as they were under pressure. That's Queen with it now. He will pass it off. Good positioning. And, oh, good play by Ben Haynes. Just came out. If he was a half a step later. Bynum likely would have put that in the back of the net. However, that's not how it played out. And 1-1 is the score. So good positioning by Haynes. Keeps this one knotted at 1. Still windy out there. See some leaves blowing around. Looks like the Marlins are headed into the wind in this half. Bridgewater down 1. That will change after halftime. Marlins still in control. Cross-field pass, loosely touched. Bynum will touch it, launch it up. He will back off a little bit. Good positioning by the Marlins. Queen pressuring the ball. Bridgewater takes back possession. Queen again draws 3 defenders. We'll look back to Bynum. We'll pass it off to Medrano. Medrano tripped up. Keeps his footing. Queen will launch up for Parker. Good positioning. But the ball will go out of bounds. Marlins back in control, just under 5 minutes remaining in the opening half. Trey Widrick working with the ball, passes it off. Good speed and ball control being displayed by Eugenio. Now we'll back off, and he will lose the ball out of bounds. They're going to say it was touched by Marlin. And award possession back to Bridgewater. Launched upfield again. And this time will be controlled by the Marlins. Back the way of Haynes, and he will keep the ball on the ground, and he will just short pass it off to Nevins. Nevins walking up with the ball. Nevins again, trying to facilitate his teammates. Now moving upfield are the Marlins. Got the ball in open space. Puts the ball in the middle. Good positioning by Widrick. Short pass off to Queen. Queen moves around a couple of defenders, passes the ball off to Widrick. Widrick will launch it upfield with his left foot to Eugenio. He should be able to collect that one, and he will. Knocks it back out of bounds. Was a Marlin. And that turnover will result in the Marlins winning possession. 3 minutes remaining. If either team could get a goal in the final 3 minutes, that would be crucial. Both back lines definitely on high alert. As we look to close this half, under 3 minutes remaining. Ball is launched up and way out of bounds. Bridgewater back in control of the ball. Crossing now, no one's there, and that ball will likely go out of bounds. They might let it, they might not. Haynes will pass it off. He will pass upfield. Good touch there. Pass it back out, touched again. Redirected a couple of times. Deno will come up. Marlins moving upfield. Under 2 minutes remaining now. Thrown in, Bridgewater will look to get this ball cleared and get one last quality offensive possession in. See if they will be able to do so. There's the launching upfield part. No one able to come away with it yet. Fighting for it is Queen. Taking it away was Wakefield. Deno's there, knocks it away. Medrano's in pursuit, and he gets a touch, passes it up. Ball's working its way up the field from Bridgewater. Mongold will poke it up to Queen. Queen redirects. Medrano gets around a defender, crosses it off, and Queen was on the ground. Thought he might have got tripped up. Officials did not think so. Mongold comes up. Under a minute left in the opening half. Marlins in control of the ball. Working up on the far side of the field. Cross up. Ball now is launched up in the air, passes the midfield mark. Nevins is there. He will pass it off. Queen pursuing the ball. Ball's launching upfield. No Marlins there. Final 10 seconds. Some momentum for the Marlins. Oh, good defense there to break that up. Final shot is going to be high, and that will do it. 1-1 is our score. Headed in to halftime. Goal scored by Anthony Eugenio and Zach Bittler. Second half coming up. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Bridgewater Soccer Complex, where the Eagles of Bridgewater College and the Marlins of Virginia Wesleyan University are tied 1-1. Very exciting soccer game. Good soccer being displayed by both squads. Wesleyan leads 4 shots to 3, which is interesting because Bridgewater takes 17 shots per game. They were held to only 3 in the opening half. We knew that Wesleyan liked to play defense and run their style of play. Bridgewater fortunate to get 1 goal on the board. They're going to have to see if they can get 1 more. Wesleyan has 7 fouls to Bridgewater's 5, and everything else, the stats are about even, just like the score. About to get started for the second half, going opposite ways now. Bridgewater now going into the wind. Wesleyan downwind. We are back in play for the second half. Wesleyan will take first possession. Bridgewater fighting back, however, trying to get one back for themselves. Unable to do so yet. No one able to come away with it yet. Ball's out of bounds. Bridgewater back on defense. That's Nevins with it, working around the back line. Passes it up to Deans. Deans back to Nevins. Nevins to the far side of the field. Downfield shot from the Marlins off the head of an Eagle. Queen is there to keep pressure on, and he will, creating a temporarily change of possession. Bridgewater still working to get the ball cleared. Eugenio with it. He's looking back to Deno. Deno facing pursuit from Shoot. No one able to come away with it yet. Deno's pass went long. Deno now falling back. Bridgewater retreating back on defense. Good positioning now for the Marlins. They're going to look to cross, deflected a couple of times. And out of bounds, corner kick incoming. Corner kick up, kept low. And that's going to be off the side of the goal. Goal kick now coming up for Kowalski and the Eagles. Kowalski launches up, decent kick, a little short for his standards, and that one will be redirected out of bounds. Back line of Virginia Wesleyan moving the ball around Queen, applying some pressure. Bridgewater was not able to put much offensive pressure on the Virginia Wesleyan defense. For the back half of the first half, see what they're able to do. As I said, they only have had 3 shots in the entire first half. Now the Marlins working the ball back upfield. They've had more offensive success in the latter half. So it changed a little bit. You can definitely tell the momentum changed. Wesleyan spent more time on offense in the second half of the opening half, and Bridgewater was the opposite. So see how this half will play out as Wesleyan will take the ball up, working around a couple of times. Good cross there, maybe just too far out in front of the intended target. This ball is launched up. Working upfield offense. Back out, Queens with it, pokes it away. Dunbar working upfield, showing some speed. Gets around a couple of defenders. Good move there to get around to third. Passes it off. That's Locklear with it, passes it off to Queen. Temporarily deflected and read well. Ball's back in play and hard out of bounds. That was Deno, came up, drew the foul. Bridgewater trying to get some pressure going offensively. And denied with that call. So they're going to have to settle back in on defense. Ball's going around the back line. Of the Marlins. Dunbar applying some pressure, went for the takeaway, over pursued just a little bit. Now the Marlins are working back up offensively. This is Zizza with it. Zizza working upfield. Will pass it off. Passed off again. That's McAdams with it. Pass back to the middle of the field. Launched up. No one able to come away with that one, and that ball will roll out of bounds. Shot blocked high. Haynes comes way out of the box. Has to be careful when you're that far outside. He will get it away. Dunbar pressuring. Oh, good pass up the sideline. And the ball will be poked out of bounds. Excellent pass on the far side of the field. Not sure what it was, but excellent pass nonetheless. Still waiting for the ball to be thrown in. All right, ball's back in play. Throw in coming. Decent throw up and out of bounds. Corner kick now incoming. Wesleyan has had more corners than Bridgewater today. Bridgewater had one when they had a few minutes of offensive success earlier. Ball's in play now, kept low. And then Bridgewater will look to knock it out of there. Cleared, and that's what they will do. Queen pursuing. Might be able to work it, and he will just be a couple steps too short. Ball still being worked around the back line. Now rearing up for a long ball. Going deep and over the head of the intended target. But still working are the Marlins. Potential cross here. Good momentum. Crossed, and that's going to be in. Good soccer there. That's the lead for the Marlins. Patiently waited, worked around a defender, and got the ball. I believe that was Nolan Shoot getting the goal there to take the lead, 2 in a row.
I think 7 touched it inside the box.
And you can definitely tell all the momentum is in favor of the Marlins.
Oh, Virginia Wesleyan.
Bridgewater back in control. Queen calling for the ball on the near side. They will launch up instead. Hammond was tripped up. First time I said his name all day. Bridgewater in need of a momentum breaker. Kick will be up, decently placed. Headed up in front of the goal, still very much alive. No one able to come away with it yet. Still up in the air. Locklear with it. He will pass off to Queen. Queen's awfully dangerous. But that ball will go out of bounds. This injured player on the near side. It's Caden Tappan. Gets up on his own power. Ball is put back in play. And the Marlins look back on offense, trying to build upon their lead. They'll certainly have all the momentum, playing very well. Marlins are working the ball very well. Good ball movement. And good defense there. And that's going to be a yellow card on Mason Wakefield. He was grabbing at his assignment. Bridgewater will put the ball back in play. Denham will launch up field, far side. No one really able to come away with it yet, and it's getting a little rough out there on both sides. Definitely feel the tension. Queen will have it, trying to work on a defender. Good footwork as always. Passes to the near side, crosses up, maybe a little too far out. And Haynes is going to come up, or go to the side rather, and he will bring that one in. He will toss it on over, and the Marlins will look to get another offensive push going. Back line of the Marlins been pretty effective today, and now they're working the ball around. They've done this a couple times. Queen in pursuit, unable to come away with the turnover. McAdams passes far side, ball still being worked downfield by the Marlins. And then back towards the middle of the field. Now it is in the middle of the field. Chance now for the Marlins again. They will elect to pass that one back to the far side of the field instead of forcing the issue. Definitely in control of this game is Virginia Wesleyan. Working upfield again, good cross. No one really able to come away with it yet, where it's going to be a whistle for an injury timeout. Still trying to work out some things down there on the field after that injury stoppage. Queen working upfield with the now good pass and deflected out of bounds. That was Aaron Deans with the heads-up play. Widrick now will have it. Tripped over the ball, got his footing back, draws an extra defender. He will hand it off to Dunbar, who will throw it in. And Dunbar will give that duty off as he will be subbed out. A couple subs coming on now for the Eagles. Bridgewater finds themselves trailing at home, 1-2. Final 30 minutes coming up. 33 is the exact minutes remaining. Hammond will throw this one in. Deep throw in the middle. Hammond will come up to it again, and he will keep the ball low. And that shot will be wide. So a shot there for Bridgewater. Not one of great potential quality, but the shot nonetheless. Looking to stack some shots. They're way behind pace to meet their 17 shots per game season average. Ball's downfield now and out of bounds. Now moving upfield again are the Eagles. Sorry, the Marlins, correction. That looks similar to how they scored the previous goal. Deflected a couple of times. No one able to come away with it. Bridgewater working, slides, and that ball was deflected out of bounds. Thrown in by Bridge offense. Most has been on defense as another player hits the deck. whistle, and that ball's going back in the other direction. Bridgewater certainly needs a change of momentum. First 15 minutes of the second half, they have allowed a goal, and they just seem a little behind the curve out there right now. All it takes is just one play to change momentum, though, and they're in desperate need of that play. Maybe you can start with that guy, Riley Queen. Great touch there. Coming up now, this is Connor Campbell. Campbell will pass it off to Eugenio. Eugenio passes it off again. Padrono with it now. And again, gets around a defender. Just for a second, defender made good progress back at him. That's going to be a whistle. And that foul will be called on Bridgewater. On Hammond. And possession will go the other way. And now whistle is back, and we are going to resume play. Good shot down the field coming up now. No one able to get away with it yet. Ball still in the air, and another whistle. Kowalski's kick first touched by an Eagle. And that pass will be up. First touch then by Marlin. Out of bounds immediately, another whistle. That's Wakefield pleading his case down there. Trying to get some things out with the officials. It's been a slow couple of minutes down there. No team really able to get much of anything going. Couple stoppages for injury, official timeouts. But Bridgewater's going to have a free kick here, pretty close to the goal. And a good opportunity to draw back even. We'll see what they can do. This is going to be Queen, will cross, and immediately first touched by the Marlins. Good play there. Still working, good pass to Queen. Queen collects, and he will cross. Cross again after he recovers his own deflection. Touched again by Marlin, good deflection. Bridgewater's still going to be in control. Maybe. No, good defensive play. But now the Eagles will settle back down. Deno coming out. This is Campbell with it. On the near side. Good move to get the ball out of trouble from a pursuing defender. Campbell will have it again. See what he will decide to do with it. Pass back to the back line and Deno. Deno will pass to Mongold. And Mongold will come up, pass up to Hammond. Hammond will Pass it backwards. Cross deflected and out of bounds. Decent possession there for Bridgewater. Kept the pressure on. But another quality defensive possession by Virginia Wesleyan. Ball is up, crossed, and then cleared back out. Bridgewater still in possession. Queen with it now, gets around a defender. He will look for some help. Will push it towards the middle of the field, pass a little off target, and out of bounds. Under 25 minutes remaining in the game. Bridgewater trails Virginia Wesleyan 1-2. This could be a big win on the road for Virginia Wesleyan with a couple of winnable games coming up. Bridgewater has not lost a game in ODAC play. And if they can somehow get out of here with a win or a tie today, then their undefeated ODAC season is still on the table. If not, it does not get any easier. They play Hampton-Sydney and Washington-Lee coming up soon. But we will get through this one. First ball's up in the air, knocked around a couple of times. Ball's in, Queen is tracking, and he will pass it backwards. Keeping it alive, would have gone to bounce off Bridgewater. So saves the possession there, even though he kicked it all the way across the field. Queen's calling for it now on the near end. Ball's deflected up. Marlin's in control now. Passes it up a couple more times. And the ball will go out of bounds. Ball's back in play. Bridgewater back line. Deno in possession. Queen comes up. Not a great pass from Deno. Set up that turnover. It's still working. Are both squads trying to get a possession claim? No one able to really do so yet. Ball working back towards the middle of the field. Eagle got tripped up, as did a Marlin. And possession is going to go in favor of Virginia Wesleyan.
Wesleyan 7 for 20.
Ball's back in play, going around the back line of a Wesleyan. Now they will look upfield. Passes it off a couple of times. That's Bittler there. Good pass out in front of the defender. And that shot is just high. Maybe deflected by Kowalski. That was McAdams showing some speed and agility there. Ripped a shot very close to at least hitting the crossbar. Who knows what could happen then. But Kowalski was in decent positioning. Guess they did say got Kowalski because it's a corner kick. Very important for both squads here. This is up. front of the goal, headed a couple of times. Back on the ground, no one able to come away with it yet. Now Bridgewater will. Queens with it, trying to work upfield, passes it upfield. Now collected back by the Marlins, and that's going to be a whistle and a stoppage. Officials trying to get some logistics worked out as we approach the 20-minute remaining mark. McAdams trying to explain himself, plead his case to a couple of officials. Received a couple warnings already today. Don't think he likes what he was told. But Wesleyan will keep the possession. Now looking upfield, headed back. That's McAdams in pursuit. Gets the ball, crosses it up. But Mongold is there to send the ball back downfield. Good play off Deans. And redirected back upfield. Queen in pursuit, showing some good speed. Pressures a defender and will take the ball away. Good play there. Now working upfield. Tracked, and he is knocked down to the ground. And that's going to be another card. Caden Tappan called for the foul there. It results in a yellow card. Bridgewater, going into today's game, has been unbeaten when scoring the first goal. They scored first today and have given up 2 straight. They got less than 20 minutes to draw back even, at least.
Bridgewater 7 for 33.
Also an interesting note, Bridgewater has never just scored 1 goal all year. They've scored 2, 0, 6, 4, and 3, but never 1. As that ball will be up and just a little too high for Jaden Buckles, who just entered the game. So a couple of trends point towards Bridgewater not being done yet, but we will see.
Bears 7 for 20.
Bridgewater also undefeated when being tied at halftime, 2-0-2. So plenty of trends and season-long stats point towards Bridgewater not being done yet, but Wesleyan playing well and with most of the momentum. Under 19 minutes remaining now. Time will keep ticking, and it will be on Wesleyan's side as long as they are leading. Bridgewater has struggled to beat Wesleyan in the history. Wesleyan leads 25-4-3. Coach Benison has been responsible for all 4 of those wins. So the record under Benison has been better than the all-time, 4-10-2, but still has struggled. Last win for Bridgewater over Virginia Wesleyan was in 2018, which oddly enough, this is Bridgewater's first 10-win season since 2018 as well. Bridgewater trying to work upfield and get it clear. Ball's moving upfield, tripped up. That's going to be a whistle. McAdams is on the ground. Ball's back in play. Launching upfield, curving a little bit. Nothing going on that shot. Bridgewater will win possession back. Now they're moving upfield, launching upfield. Queen calling for it. Queen will look to settle things back down. Shot up, comes out in front, and just a second too late was Widrick. Goal kick now for Haynes. Deno with it, redirects. Mongold kicks it up. Buckles tosses it in. Widrick has it redirected off of his defender, and now the Marlins are back in business. Kowalski's going to come up, and he will wait for it to come in, and he mishandled that one and had to knock that one back out of bounds, not in the box. Retreats out before Marlin could get to it, and they will keep possession. McAdams will throw it in. So we're now at about 15 minutes remaining in the game. Bounced around a couple of times off the throw-in. No one able to come away with it yet. Now it redirected back towards the goal. Kowalski was ready. And we have a player down. For Wesleyan. Nope, he's going to get up, and we're going to resume play pretty quickly. Gets up on his own power. Bridgewater moving the ball back upfield. Redirects back towards the middle of the field. Not much going on that one, forced out of bounds, and that will be a turnover back going in the way of Virginia Wesleyan. Not much going at all in the second half for Bridgewater, but still plenty of time remaining to draw back even. But Virginia Wesleyan certainly doing what they would much rather be doing, keeping their pressure on offense and playing good defense to back it up, especially after falling down early 1-0 off of the kick, maybe caught sleeping from Anthony Eugenio, snuck past that back line and into the goal. But after that, they stayed in it and now have eventually regained the lead and have been able to settle into that style of soccer that I was talking about at the beginning of the match. That great defensive level of soccer, shutting down any opportunities from the Eagles, but there's still plenty of time, and this Eagles offense is good. They're way below their shot average on the season, so they could certainly rip off some shots in the coming minutes, but they are running out of time. Ball's launched downfield. Mongold is back there to recover it. Mongold again coming up from the back line, getting involved on the offense. Bridgewater still in control. Cross up, no one able to come away with it yet. Now the Marlins will knock it out. Bridgewater still in control. That was just for a second mishandled and turned over. Marlins back in possession. Not much going on down there. No team really able to get a footing. And it's been that way for the majority, it seems like, of the second half, going exactly how Virginia Wesleyan would like it to go. Not giving up the momentum. A lot of stoppages in play. Not much going for Bridgewater. But 12 minutes are remaining, and that's more than enough time for an offense like Bridgewater's. But they're going to have to get going soon. And another stat missed earlier, Bridgewater is also undefeated when allowing 2 goals. So this would be the end of many streaks if Bridgewater is unable to get another goal within the next 12 minutes and draw back even. They're 4-0-1 when allowing 2 goals. Typically their offense is right back there, but the Virginia Wesleyan defense has made it very difficult on the Eagles offense pretty much for the majority, the back end of the opening half and the entirety of the second half. Bridgewater will settle back in on defense. McAdams is down. get up. Free kick coming now. This will be Zizza will take it pretty close. Still working through some logistics down there. This could be crucial if the Marlins could get this to go. 3-1 lead would be hard to overcome.
So is that card to 7 or 12 or 3? I'll just give you 7 for now.
About ready to get back started here. All right, back in play. Will cross it up hard, and that will be saved and deflected back out. Good save by Zane Kowalski there, keeping his squad in the game. That was very close. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get back on that one, but he was. Pressure's not over with yet, though. Corner kick incoming. Corner kick coming up, redirected a couple of times, and that will be in. 3-1 is the lead. The pressure stayed on, and Kowalski saved the previous one, not able to save that one.
I think it was by
3-1 is the score, and Virginia Wesleyan can taste this one.
Wesleyan 4 for 26.
So Bridgewater just was not able to get enough going. Still 10 minutes left, still some time, but you can definitely tell that the Eagles were not able to get a whole lot going in the second half, which they started off the game very positively, got an opening goal in the first 15 minutes, but ever since, it has been all Marlins. Working now on the far side, under 10 minutes remaining. Bridgewater trailing 3-1. They have not gotten the pressure offensively that they would have liked to have had after a positive opening 15 minutes. Ever since that goal, the opening goal that took a 1-0 lead for the Eagles, the Marlins defense had really settled in, and they've played very well. Goalie's made some good plays, but truthfully, it hasn't not gotten to the goalie much. But I would say that now, and now it has. Back in play, and they're back in the game. It did get to the goalie that time, and he wasn't not exactly in great position. And Trey Widrick is going to get this one back 2-3. And they're right back down 1. So the Eagles certainly weren't done. I was alluding to this earlier. They typically score more than 1 a game. They average 2.3, so they might not be done. 9.5 though. But that insurance goal, Virginia Wesleyan scored just about a minute ago.
crazy, but yeah. It is crazy, but yeah, pretty good.
proved very important.
Definitely going to need to go over cards after this one.
So as I was saying that, it hadn't gotten to the goalie much. I was going to talk about the back line and how well they've played today. However, it did get past them back to the goalie, and Haynes was not quite able to get back in control and in the right position to save that shot. So the score is 2-3. See if Bridgewater is able to capture any of this momentum. Momentum had been in Virginia Wesleyan's favor for a long time, from about the back half of the first half to most of the second half now. About 35 minutes worth, but certainly decent amount left, under 9 minutes. Corner now for the Marlins. Scored on their last corner. Ball is up and immediately deflected off by an Eagle. Marlins will keep control. High cross out in front, headed up, still alive, and again, no one able to come away with it yet. Headed a couple of times, ball still in danger. Now coming up as Queen pokes it out of trouble, and good play, and knocked out of bounds. Little shaken up is Maliksita into the game now. And we'll see if the Eagles are going to be able to build on their offensive momentum that they might have gained a little bit. Down by 1, 8 minutes remaining. Knocked around a couple of times. Good slide there by McAdams to take back control, and another slide by the Eagles. Ball is up and likely out of bounds, and it is. And Bridgewater will be back in control. 7.5 minutes to score one more goal. They were down 3-1. Got it one right back, and now it's 3-2. Bridgewater working offensively now. Passes it upfield. A little off target. Likely will go out of bounds, and it will.
Referee.
7 minutes remaining. Thrown in now by the Marlins. And Bittler will let it go out of bounds. Now they're saying it's Bridgewater's ball. Bittler would have been better letting that, or fighting for that. Now launching downfield, coming up, and redirected back out. Goalie's out of position. They're going to cross it back up high. No one able to come away with any possession yet. Knocked around a little more. Queen is there, passes it off. Redirected back up. No one yet.
6:35. We're trying, sir.
Ball is up, crossed in the middle, deflected around a couple of times, not coming back up, and out of bounds. 6 minutes remaining.
I was just saying the time on the clock because it got messed up.
Ball is up in front of the goal. No one yet. Headed around a couple of times, redirected really high, and out of bounds.
I know. I think they want to go home.
All right, 5.5 minutes left in this one. Ball is back in play. Writing's on the wall for Bridgewater. They need one more goal or their undefeated ODAC season will be over. Oh, good assertive play. Now moving upfield are the Marlins. This couple players hit the deck, no call. And knocked out of bounds. Definitely tell the energy in here in the stands is different, as is on the sideline. They were down 3-1, now 3-2. They've had more offensive momentum since, but not able to get that tying goal yet. And now we're going to get a whistle. A couple players have been hitting the deck. You can tell the energy out there is changing a little bit, both in the stands and on the sideline. Definitely more loud and energized and on the field. A few more players have been hitting the deck. 4:20 left in this one. Pass is up. McAdams is there, possesses the ball, works backwards, will pass it off to Deans. Deans working around a couple of defenders, passes it off to McAdams. McAdams is going to turn upfield, maybe. Now he's trapped. Still trapped. And Bridgewater is in desperate need of a clear. Turning it into some offense. Throw in now coming. Chance for a clear now. Good speed by Widrick. Now moving upfield. Pass sideways, and Queen was too far out in front. Good play there by Bynum to keep it alive. Passes it off to Dunbar. Dunbar will look to settle things back down. Eugenio's there with it. Looks like tripped up Tappan there. 3 minutes remaining. Bridgewater still in need of one more goal. That's Bittler with it now, has scored once today. Trapp draws 4 defenders. And they're going to say that ball was out of bounds. Bittler had lost it, but out of bounds, and maybe a corner kick coming. Under 3 minutes remaining now, approaching 2.5. Ball's back in play and then right back out of play almost immediately. Approaching 2 minutes remaining now. Wesleyan just kind of stalling down there. Don't want to get this ball cleared by the Eagles. Now coming up, shot way high. No. Pretty good shot. I thought it was way high for a second. Came down, dropped just at the right time, and saved by Kowalski. But time is ticking down. Under 2 minutes remaining now. They need a quick clear. They got to get out of this corner soon. Clear and a score, all seeming more unlikely, but not out of the question as time continues to tick down. Marlins taking their time down there. Will just put this corner in. They're definitely just trying to run out the clock. Ball's out of bounds again. Under a minute and a half now. They might just be content on doing this. Not in a big danger zone in that corner on the offensive side. Where they are, just probably pass it off again, and they will. Bridgewater will fight for it. They got to be careful down there not to go out of bounds. And they are going to get possession and likely clear this one. Going to get a whistle.
1 minute remaining.
1 minute remaining. You can feel the tension down there. Quick shot down the field. I believe that's Dunbar down there, way up in the air. Widrick's there. Dunbar's there again. He will poke one towards the middle. Queen's in the area. No one able yet. Still down there 50 seconds.
It's 30 seconds around.
30 seconds remaining.
Something's wrong with that clock down there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when it gets to 10.
Ball still being fought for.
He's still not right.
That's going to be a shot up and saved by Ben Hayes. Could be the play of the game. Might just let this one stall out.
7, 6, 5.
And they probably will. Ben Hayes comes up and makes a clutch save, and that will probably be it. And it is. Bridgewater's perfect ODAC season is over. And Virginia Wesleyan
Yeah, something's wrong with that control. I would see it sometimes.
Will-
It would skip over.
will
Go back.
improve to 4-3 on the season in the ODAC play. And Bridgewater will fall to 5-1-1 in the conference. We'll look ahead now for Virginia Wesleyan winning squad here today. They will finish off their season at home. We'll look at Bridgewater first, though. Bridgewater will travel to Farmville, Virginia, take on Hampton-Sydney on the road at 7 p.m. And if they want to have the number 1 seed, they're going to have to keep working. If they beat Hampton-Sydney and then beat Washington and lead, it's still certainly a big possibility. Washington and Lee will travel here a week from today. Final stats here. Virginia Wesleyan had 12 shots to Bridgewater 6, and that is certainly the main story. Bridgewater had come into this game averaging 17, and Virginia Wesleyan averages 12.4 shots. So that's certainly where that comes from. Only 2 shots on goal from Bridgewater to Virginia Wesleyan's 8 corners to Bridgewater's 1 corner. Corners has been a bit of not an issue per se, but certainly a topic of conversations. Virginia Wesleyan had an equal amount of corners as their opponents did. Bridgewater had more corners than their opponents coming into today's game, but they led 8-1 in the corner discussion and stats in this one. Had some difficulties pulling up the Wesleyan schedule, but here it is now. They will host Roanoke Saturday at 6 p.m. for Senior Day celebrations. And after that, they will host Randolph College to finish off ODAC play. That's all we have for you today. Quality ODAC performance with 2 good teams. 2-3 was the final score. Bridgewater scored the first goal. Wesleyan scored the next 3. Bridgewater scored 1 late. Could not get another one, and falls to Virginia Wesleyan once again. They've had real trouble beating this program in program history. That's all we have for you today. I'm Tate Mills. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your evening.